No one knows what it's like to be me, be me. No P, just living life as a teen. Go downstairs switching on the TV. Got a tin of beans, got rips in jeans, that's me.
Today I will embarrass myself in public and talk to you about brewing coffee because it's a nice day. Well, I was talking to someone today and they were saying how they buy instant coffee because they don't have anything to make coffee with. And I thought, that's weird, because in an IKEA you used to be able to buy a French press for like £4. So maybe that's not the excuse. Maybe people are either scared of using these devices or they're not used to it or anything. Because as a coffee person, I've literally never advised anyone really to get an espresso machine unless they really wanted one, because you have to know quite a lot to make espresso, and it's finicky and it's not consistent and it doesn't taste great. So I raise you that the best way to make coffee is just putting hot water on ground coffee. I do sound like I'm oversimplifying, but let me explain a little bit. Think about how people brew coffee when they're tasting it. Well, if you ever heard of coffee cupping, what they do is they take coffee, so I normally take 9 grams of coffee, I put it in the same cup every time, I grind it the same grind I do for filter, a bit finer, and then I just put hot water in it. You leave it for 4 minutes, and then you break the crust on top, and then you scoop off the little foam and the fines that get on the top, and you just let it settle and cool down, and then you use a spoon and you taste the coffee. But there is literally nothing stopping you just picking that cup up and drinking it, and the fines will all stay at the bottom. So you just have a cup of coffee and you use zero equipment, and the coffee will be perfect every single time. And we give a specific name to this type of brewing coffee. It's called immersion. Why is it called immersion? Well, it's because you're immersing the coffee grinds into the water, so you're just letting it be. And this has an interesting effect in the brewing, because at the point where the water is kind of fully saturated to the coffee, it eventually gets into equilibrium with the coffee itself, so that after you've left it for about 4 minutes, the coffee isn't going to suddenly get really strong and bitter, but really, once it's brewed, once it's ready, it's ready. You can leave it for 10 minutes, 4 minutes, but really the minimum for most immersion brewing is about 4 minutes, unless you're adding pressure like with an AeroPress. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to go and buy a
French press.
I'm going to look in TK Maxx because they might be slightly cheaper than IKEA, which I think they're at £8 at the moment, which is I think the highest I've ever seen for the small ones. And we'll see what we find.
Last night I lost my new chain, kicked their fence, they need a new gate, put a double knot in my shoelace. No one knows what it's like to be me. No P, just living life as a teen.
That's an idea. Nope. As a random side note, this is my favorite type of cup to drink coffee with. That's relevant. That shape, like it's like a wide opening glass. Pretty cool. No success there. I'm actually going to try the other charity store to see if we can find something, because I feel like there's no point spending more money than we have to, and I don't think they're going to be broken. I think people don't use them that much anyway. Well, we have been unsuccessful on that regards. I tried to be sustainable and such, but not today. Let's try the stores. They have home store where you can buy homes. No, let's not get killed crossing the road. Let's see if we find something here.
We got kettles here.
And they have this one. It's this one that the one having. This I'm thinking. Should for work. This is.
It was kind of slightly more expensive than I wanted to spend. Look, it's me being responsible and crossing when the light is green. We're going to the discount store.
I'm never that guy, 5th gear riding around in a drop top. It's more like how are you and can I use your personal hotspot? Cause my data ran out last week and I've gotta use my laptop.
Welcome to this place. Well, look what we have here. We have mocha pots. Do a video about these guys. We have these. How much is this? Success. I mean, like, yeah. No, like, they have these double insulated ones. But I think that's silly because, like, it will never cool down ever, and you won't ever have a coffee that's like reasonable to drink. How much are you? Ooh, I think I found the one. I think I found one. There'll be another video about these. I've been rickrolled. Great. The reward I get for going outside is being rickrolled and having to wait in a queue. We have successfully copped the main thing, but I'm gonna buy something else. You see, oh wait. What I'm also gonna get is some nice water for brewing coffee, which is another thing that we have to talk about, brewing water, because we live in London. And the London water is very hard. What I mean by that, it has literal limescale or chalk in it, and it can kind of mess up the flavors of most coffee. Now, if you're drinking coffee with milk, and you're bringing it quite strong, it doesn't really make a difference, especially with this Ethiopian coffee that I'm going to be making today.
No one knows what it's like to be
Just something to know.
No P, just living life as a teen. Go downstairs, switching on the TV. Got a tin of beans, got rips in jeans, that's me. Shout out to my man at the stand with the good grades. I've known him since school days. Sparky carpet, yeah, he got 2 trades. Works in a bar on Tuesdays.
Okay, it stopped. So, I'm gonna go to Tesco, and firstly, really, there are very like 2 options. And maybe another day I will make a video about how to filter the coffee yourself, the water yourself, how to be a bit more sustainable when it comes to that, what options are out there, because it's kind of a problem, and I don't think there are many good solutions at the moment. I now know what it feels like to be a vlogger, because you just have to trust that you're not really drawing that much attention to yourself, and to not feel cringe even though you are. It's kind of crazy. It's like exposure therapy. And I know there are people that I know around here. Never seen that before. We are in Tesco. We are going to the place where they sell the water. Buy this one. Is my job going to be stolen? Probably not, because it's not working. Yeah, we have the things. We are on the way back. We will be making coffee. Okay, there is a really cool cafe here that one day, hopefully after this video comes out, I will convince them to buy my coffee and sell it. So maybe you'll be able to buy it here too. But if you live nearby, then basically don't do that, because I'll just bring it to you. But the other side. Now, I do hope that nobody doxes me, really work it out, and everybody I know is watching this video anyway. So, it is a really nice day. Yeah. the sun is really shining. I need a haircut. But yeah, so we're gonna brew. I'm gonna show you a cupping brew first, just to kind of get the idea of it. And then we're gonna brew a French press. And it's going to be beautiful, and it's hopefully gonna be very tasty. And hopefully I can encourage you to try the same, because you probably have one in your house. Let's face it. Here we are. We're in the garden. We've got our French press. But before we get to that, you're just going to use a cup to brew coffee. Nothing else. So how are we going to do this? This is a technique that we call cupping. It's a washed Ethiopian coffee. And I'm going to weigh out 9 grams. You don't have to weigh as long as your scoop or something is consistent, you can eventually work out where you want to be. But weighing is just a great way of being consistent every time. So I'm going to weigh 9 grams. A little bit too much. Yeah. Have a look at the beautiful coffee. Then I'm going to grind it. I'm going to grind it. If you have a grinder where you can choose how coarse it is, use it and go a bit finer than a filter coffee. My ZP6, I'm grinding out of 4. Nobody watching this is using a ZP6, I don't think. And while you do this, I would usually recommend taking your water. I'm going to be using the water we bought. I've got my kettle set up behind there, so let's put it there. Now, I have a temperature controlled kettle and I've set it to 96 degrees. Doesn't really matter for you. As long as it's boiled and it's not so bubbling, you will get a good result, I promise. Coffee ground. I'm going to give it a little shake so it kind of evens all the little bits out. It smells beautiful. It smells like grapefruit. It smells a little bit like grey. Things are flying away. This is why we don't do this outside. Coffee in a cup. While that kettle heats up, I'm going to disassemble this box. French press. A whole £7. You can do better than this. They had one on £6. So the good thing about French presses is they scale really well. You can get ones that are a litre, 2 litres. They work exactly the same, no difference. But this one is a little small one, just for this video. Let me just go and give it a quick rinse. I think the kettle is ready. I was wrong. Yeah, you can see what's going on here. That's better. Our kettle has reached the desired temperature. We are going to do something very simple. We are going to pour 150 ml of water into there. I'm going to pour it quite quickly so it kind of agitates it and foams it all up. And then when I set a timer, when I start doing that, we get all that wet. Then, just going to leave it 4 minutes. It's actually really windy. Damn it. Okay, we're getting to the end of the 4 minutes. We're going to do something very easy. We're going to take another cup. We're going to put some water in the cup. You're going to need 2 regular spoons. Now 4 minutes has passed. What we're going to do, we're going to just break up the crust on top of there. Whoops, I made a mess. And then leave it for a second, let the ground settle, let it relax a little bit. And now common practice is to leave it another 4 minutes as you do all the other coffees that you're cupping at the same time, then come back and do this, but we're not doing other coffees, so we can do it straight away. We're just going to come 2 spoons like that. We're going to go around You're going to go around the edges of the cup and pick up all those things that just kind of stick to the edge of the cup with your spoons. And you're going to clean off your spoons and just come back again. Just finish it off, anything that is still there. Yeah. You don't have to be perfect in this. There is a little trick that if you have like stuff stuck on the top, you can do like this, and the surface tension of the spoon will make all the fines drop to the bottom. I made a mistake of like getting stuff on the sides. Yeah, and I'll just leave out another minute or two, and you could basically just straight up drink that. But it's actually still hot to drink, really. So like if I... No, that tastes nice. But it's too hot. So we're just gonna let that cool down. Coffee. It's nice coffee. I'm not getting the small bits. It's just coffee by itself. It's not bad. All the flavor notes coming through. I did use a little bit of water if you're for the eagle eyes, and it's a bit too much for me. I prefer a little bit less water in my brew, but like, it's good. So, French press time. It's basically the same thing, except when we're breaking up the crust, instead of doing that, we are basically just going to slowly push it down. So, I'm going to get this back to temperature. French press. Well, actually, I'm going to weigh out the coffee first. So, with this French press, it's 350 ml maximum. Now, I've learnt that trying to fill everything to the maximum is not a great idea, so I'm going to assume 330, which is great, because that means I'm going to use 20 grams of coffee. So I'm going to use 20 grams. I'm going to go a little bit coarser, but it's about the same that I grind for my filter coffee. It's a small French press, there's not too much foam or mass, so it will need to brew quickly. I've lost a bean. No. Replacement bean. For a little tip, if you have a hand grinder like this, hold it at a slight angle as you grind, and it will slow feed it, and it will make your grinds more consistent. The more you know. And we are ground. Just put this down. Take another sip of this coffee. It's starting to taste really nice as it cools down. Again, really nice. You don't need to do anything else. This is winning in my book right now. We take this. My little thing for measuring flies away. That's okay. I'll find it. Coffee smells good again. Crazy that hasn't changed since the last time I used it. I'm gonna set my scale. Just make sure I've got all 20 grams going through my grinder. Lots of grinders hold on to coffee. You see, that's 19. That says the right number now. I'm going to give you a POV this time. My scale is going to be tad. Then I'm going to take my kettle, just boiled, and I'm going to try to hit all of that water to make it all agitate and move. Again, I went over. Very annoying. I'm just distracted by the camera, I think. Anyway, see, look, all the things come to the top. You can see all the grounds are kind of settling, but most have stayed up there. And now we're going to wait 4 minutes. Again, great. You get some of the bits as you get to the end, but it's actually not unpleasant. They actually kind of taste nice, and look, it just stayed like that. They all kind of just stay down. Wow, it's really getting... The best case scenario for these brews is not that you wait around for them, that like in the morning you just put the coffee in it and you put the hot water, then you just make the rest of your breakfast and then you come back and it's done. But it is currently like 3 or something, so I'm not making any breakfast right now. Actually, sorry, it's like 5. Damn. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the sake of the video. But don't do this. Do something. And then we don't have to worry about the brew time. If you leave it for longer, it is fine. If you leave it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, it is good. The crust will stay floating at the top for ages, like 12 minutes. As long as you just come back to it eventually and press it down, it will taste good. And look, it's not drinking temperature for like another 6 minutes anyway, so don't worry about it. And you know, if you're saying it's long, again, it's not drinking temperature yet anyway. Four minutes approaches. Do this again. I'm gonna come down to your level, and I'm just gonna slowly place that one there. And I'm going to rotate it so there's fins at the front. If yours does have that, it's not necessary at all. And slowly push on the lid. Then you're going to take the top and just really gently just press it and push it down. There's no reason to rush this. The slower you do it, the less likely little bits get through. So just take your time, push it all the way to the bottom. We're almost there. And don't like squeeze it out. So once it's touching, just keep applying the same amount of force. Coffee. Easy. No problems. Let me get another cup. Actually, I'm going to just water the flowers with slightly coffee-induced water. Very nutritious of them. And here again we have coffee. Now the first bit you pour out of this, because it skips that like skimming step, it's going to visibly be a bit murkier. So that smells really good. Tastes really good. No actual like tangible bits. And there you have a coffee. Wasn't that hard? I think I've proven my point now. This is really good. If you got service in a specialty cafe made with a good coffee, you would not complain. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really hard to go wrong with a French press if you don't mess it up. I hope this has encouraged you to try this, and if it goes well for you, tell me in the comments. If it went badly for you, also mention it in the comments and I will try to help. But really it's not that hard. Anyway, buy the coffee because I have like a 10 kilo bag of green coffee in my kitchen now and I need to get rid of it somehow. Thank you.
That's me.